This weekend, we are celebrating transportation and we're celebrating trains.
That's right. It's Union Depot's Train Days, where they highlight the history and future of passenger and freight trains. Lucia is in St. Paul this morning with what there is all to see and do there. Hey, Allie.
Good morning, Kim. It's kind of loud in here. The trains are passing by, and we are in an Amtrak this morning, and there are so many different trains to check out here at Union Depot, and I'm joined by Deborah Carter McCoy from Union Depot. And Deborah, you guys are celebrating 90 years here at Union Depot. So what are you doing to celebrate all year long?
All year long, we are enhancing our signature events, and this being one of them, Train Days for May. We're also doing additional exhibits in the station, and we've added some programming that you'll hear more about as we go through the year.
So 2 years Amtrak has been here, same with light rail, but a lot of people I don't think even realize that Amtrak is here, stationed right here in St. Paul.
There is quite a bit of confusion about that because they were located for a long time in Minneapolis and then in Midway in St. Paul, but we have been open here for 2 years. And if you're coming down for Train Days this weekend, we encourage you to take the light rail and then also hop on down to the back of the station and check out the Amtrak so you can see how to travel across the country.
Well, Deborah, thanks for joining us this morning. So we're going to take a little walk through this Amtrak, and it kind of makes you feel like you're going back in time. They aren't letting me do any of the conducting here this morning, even though I am dressed for it. But I'm joined this morning by Steve Ostrowski. And Steve, you're the train master here. So what does that entail, and what do you get to do?
As a train master, I'm responsible for scheduling of the train around our system for the different events, this maintenance and such, just keeping the trains rolling.
So for families that are thinking about coming out this weekend, what can they see?
Well, in this train, we've got a number of things, a number of hands-on. We have our locomotive control stands. We have actual lights you can change, different configurations. We have the horns, as you just heard, brake pipes and stuff. A lot of things to get your hands on in here where it's in a safe, controlled environment.
I have a little nephew, Bennett, and he loves trains. And when I think about walking in here with little kids, it's something for everyone. And we're looking at trains right now. But in terms of history, you guys are celebrating 45 years on May 1st. And when you look at the transformation of Amtrak and what you guys have done, what comes to mind?
I guess just how we've improved our safety, our speeds, our passenger count. We're topping the numbers every year. It's a great place to work. Where we've been 2 years in a row now. I believe we've been on the top 100 companies in the country to work for. So.
When someone steps on here, what for you? I know you've definitely taken a tour of this before. So what do you enjoy about this exhibit?
The varied, there's everything in it. We have dining car china from the 70s. We have uniforms from today, posters. We have a new bedroom, a new roomette. There's just so much to see. It encompasses everything on Amtrak. It's not just one point of view. It's a lot of points of view.
Well, Steve, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll let you get back to work.
Roger that.
All right, Jason and Kim, so this is a free event. It's tomorrow and Sunday, so feel free to bring out the family and go for a ride and go back in time, or maybe even take a ride to Los Angeles, Kansas City, Chicago. Where do you want to go?
Are these things options, Allie? You're making it sound like you can just show up at Union Depot and go wherever you want.
Well, we're stepping on the Amtrak right now. This is obviously just an exhibit, but as Deborah said, for 2 years now, Amtrak has been running here in Minnesota, and a lot of people don't even realize that.
It's true.
So you can go to the website and pick your destination.
You can. All right. Very good. I like the hat.
That's good.
The hat looks really good on you, Allie.
Thank you to Kim for this hat.
Yes. Allie, I'd say you're the master of the trains with that hat.
There you go.
That's your title.
All right. Good stuff out at Union Depot, which is absolutely beautiful in St. Paul.
It
Been
is.
restored to glory. And,
great for events, too.
And that's inside.
Which is perfect for today.
About trains and transportation, you might have to take a train there, too, with all the road construction.
Well, yeah, take the light rail over there. It is Union Depot's Train Days. They're highlighting the history and the future of passenger and freight trains. Allie is live in St. Paul this morning with all there is to see and do at the Union Depot. And you're inside the freight train this morning, Allie.
I am, Jason. The horn doesn't work, but if it did, you would hear it sound. So we've got brake, and throttle. We're not going to let this car go. This is a SU 2500, and there are so many things to see this weekend here in St. Paul at the Union Depot, including an Amtrak where you can kind of go back in time. But this morning, I am joined by Ken Bueller. He basically runs Duluth version of the Union Depot, and you know all about this car because it's actually stationed in Duluth normally.
It's from the collection of the Lake Superior Railroad Museum, and we brought it down special for the St. Paul train days on Saturday and Sunday here at Union Depot.
So tell me a little bit about the history of this car specifically.
Well, this would be a locomotive that was built in 1949 by EMD, in the Electromotive Division of General Motors, and it was one of a long line of engines that was called the steam killers because these were the ones that started the transition from steam locomotives to diesel locomotives. And these were very popular. They were called Bulldog engines, F units, if you will, and this one was actually used to pull the Laker, which was a Soo Line train that went from Duluth to Chicago. It was an overnight service featuring all Pullman car service, and it was a luxurious train. And so it was a demonstrator originally. It was purchased by the railroad, by Soo Line, and then it was put into service, as I said, on the Laker between Duluth and Chicago for passenger service.
Such an amazing piece of history, and I want to let our viewers know that we actually stepped up on this train, and it is quite the steep step, about 2.5 feet. And you told me that a gentleman who's over 80 years old gets on this thing almost every day, and you can too. For the viewers at home, they can climb on this train. It's free, and they can check everything out.
What we're going to do during train days on Saturday and Sunday at the Union Depot here in St. Paul is we're going to bring steps in, so you won't have to climb up the ladder like you did this morning. But yes, Frank Christofferson, who's one of our volunteer engineers on the North Shore Scenic Railroad in Duluth, which operates out of the Union Depot, which we have in Duluth. He's 84 years old. He climbs up those stairs every single day and goes to work right there in the engineer's seat, pulling our excursion trains on the North Shore of Lake Superior.
Other than this SU 2500, what else can people see here this weekend?
Well, the Amtrak train, as you mentioned, is here, and you can find all about Amtrak's history and how they evolved into America's railroad. And also the 261, the steam locomotive operated by the Friends of 261 out of the Twin Cities is here. So you get to see a working steam engine, and you'll get to climb up in the cab of that locomotive as well. Plus, Minnesota Transportation Museum has one of their engines here and an RPO car, which is a railroad post office car. You can see how the letters were delivered back in the day when the railroads carried them and not trucks or planes.
Well, Ken, thanks for joining us this morning. So, Jason and Kim, I know you guys had some questions about Amtrak running. There are over 500 stops across the country. The most popular for Amtrak here at the station here in St. Paul: Chicago, Red Wing, Winona, Portland, and Seattle. Right. And I know you guys know that I love my coffee, but I brought my special prop since I'm here sitting in the chair. I just thought everyone needs a good thermos.
Yeah,
they're going for a train
you look
ride.
like a legit engineer up there. I was wondering.
You're ready for a long train
I
ride
know.
with that thermos.
Too bad I know nothing about engineering. That's okay, though.
Very good. Well, very fun. Thank you, Allie. Excellent job out there with all the trains. Should be fun this weekend.
Yeah, fun weekend for sure.
Yeah.